Today we're going to look at getting started with RadNumericUpDown. RadNumericUpDown is part of the Telerik RAD controls for Silverlight WPF control suite for .NET XAML development. Telerik's RadNumericUpDown control provides a rich user experience by allowing the developer to define various value formats, as well as additionally customize them to meet their customers' business requirements. In this video, we will see how easy it is to get started with RadNumericUpDown. We will begin by adding RadNumericUpDown to our Silverlight 5 project and demonstrate various properties to expose your data in a user-friendly way. Let's go ahead and jump inside of Visual Studio 2010 and get started. So here we are once again inside of Visual Studio 2010. I'm going to simply go File, New, Project. I'm going to select Telerik, Silverlight, C# Rad Controls Silverlight application, and I'm just going to give this the name of RadNumericUpDown GSTTV for getting started, Telerik TV, and press the OK button. On our next screen here, I'm going to host the Silverlight application in a new website, and I'm also going to be using Silverlight version 5. I'll go ahead and I'll hit the OK button. Next, we have our project configuration wizard. I want to scroll down just a tad, and I'm going to place a check mark here in telerik.windows.controls.input. And if I scroll up just a little bit, you'll see that it also added telerik.windows.controls for us because that is a dependent reference. Let's go ahead now and let's hit the Finish button, and our Silverlight 5 project will begin spinning up. So before we actually do anything, let's just take a quick look over here underneath our references of our project, and you'll see that telerik.windows.controls and telerik.windows.controls.input has been added automatically for us. If I go ahead and I scroll up just a tad here, you'll also see that the Telerik XML namespace has been added for us. So let's go ahead and begin by actually replacing the grid with a stack panel, and inside of this stack panel I'm just going to set the horizontal alignment to center and then the vertical alignment to center. That way we're going to be able to see it very easily inside of our designer. And I'm just going to scroll down just a tad bit here. So now that we have a stack panel, we can begin using RadNumericUpDown. So we'll begin by typing in Telerik RadNumericUpDown. The first one that I'm going to use is actually going to be called Value Format. And for Value Format, I'm going to be using Currency. As you notice, there's 3 different value formats built in: currency, numeric, and then per percentage. We're going to take a look at all 3 of these. So first we're going to do currency. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give this a width of 100. I'm going to give it a height of about 50, and then I'm going to add this property called isEditable. This is going to allow our user to edit this field. So I'm actually going to turn that on to true here. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set a minimum value. So for minimum, I'm going to put in 10, and I'm just going to scroll down to the next line where you can see it. And then for maximum, this is the maximum value allowed here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in 100. So the next property that I'm going to toggle is actually going to be called small change. I'm going to set that to 5. And this is simply going to be the amount the value will change based upon either pressing the up and down keys or increasing and decreasing of the repeat buttons that's inside of RadNumericUpDown. So while we're here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add in another one here called large change, and I'll just place that to 10. And this, of course, is going to be the change in value if the user uses the page up or the page down keys. The last property we're going to toggle here is going to be called auto reverse, and I'm just going to set that to true. So all that the auto reverse will actually do is it will determine whether the control will start from the minimum value whenever the maximum value is reached, and vice versa. Let's go ahead now and let's add in two more. I'm just going to paste in the second two. That way you don't have to watch me type. Do a little bit of adjustment here to our XAML where you can see everything a little bit better. So in our second example, of course, we're using RadNumericUpDown. We're setting the value format to numeric this time. Everything else on this line is the same except for is editable and returning that to false. That way the user will not be able to edit. Also, this next line here, I've changed this small change to 10, a large change to 20, and then we've turned auto reverse off to false. In our last sample, we're using value format of percentage. We're setting a width and a height to 50, which is the same. Is editable in minimum is set to the same as our first sample. And then our maximum to 100. Small change set to 15. Large change set to 30. And then auto reverse we've set true on this one as well. So the only thing that I'm going to need to do now is I'm going to need to build the project, and then we'll go ahead and we'll run this inside of our browser. Okay, so now our application is running. So we see we have our currency, RadNumericUpDown listed here. Then we have numeric, which you don't see anything in front of it. And then of course we have our percentage. So we can start scrolling through these numbers. And as you see here, once we get to 95, we get to 100, which was set for the maximum. But we set our auto reverse to true. So now as you see it rotated back over. Of course I could use the page up and page down keys, which is what I'm using here. And when I use the page up and page down, you'll see the large change happening. On our second RadNumericUpDown, we set this to where it's not editable. So if I try to type in a value, which I'm hitting a couple of keys on my keyboard right now, you notice that I'm not able to edit that. And if I go to 100, you see since my auto reverse property is set to false, I can't scroll back over and start back again with our minimum value, which was 10. Down here at the bottom you'll see we have our percentage, and of course I'm just going to scroll down through all of these, and if we are going by 15, which was our small change, or our large change, if I hit the page up key, you'll see our large change was set to 30. We also had auto reverse set to true. So I hope this getting started video helped. We have another video in the series that's on events that I would encourage you to check out. So thanks again for watching, and please tune in to tv.telerik.com for more videos, and check out blogs.telerik.com for the latest news and announcements.